So yeah, this all kind of begs the question, like I said, of how you are positioning your portfolio. And to the extent that you can talk about it, obviously a lot of this stuff is fluid. I imagine you will be trading in and out of some positions at the year end, but maybe big picture, some of your favorite sectors and potentially even stocks.
Sure. First, just before, anything I talk about is obviously not taken as investment advice, and I may or may not own some of the stocks that I discuss. But, with that said, even though, I'm bullish in the long term, you're 100% right. It's dynamic. As a trader and more of an active investor, my opinions change dynamically with the market. As new data evolves, we make decisions and we adjust on the fly. So right now, actually, I have a decent amount of cash just because we've had some rumblings. The market that I specialize in, or my portfolio, is made up of pretty much your high beta growth momentum type of names. That has been a very unfavorable position to be in the past probably month. So as those prices were going against me, we were either hedged or our stop losses were being hit and we were getting kicked out of some positions. But there are some legacy positions that I still hold that I think continue to look and act well, that kind of form the nucleus of our portfolio. One of them being, I think, Nvidia. I think semis in general have been extremely strong. During this whole 4-week meltdown in growth, semis have actually held up fairly well from a relative strength standpoint. So, I think Nvidia still remains one of the dominant tech companies in the markets. From just a growth standpoint, all the areas that they're in are the massive innovation that's going to happen probably the next decade. And I think they're at the forefront of all of it. Tesla, another one, very similar. It's held up relatively well, starting to crack a little bit. Something that we are watching, closely. And again, I think Tesla probably got a little too stretched to the upside, and it's just correcting some of those excesses right now. But I don't think anything from the fundamental story has changed at all. In fact, I think it's probably even gotten better. Especially with the infrastructure bill and the money that's being sloshed around in Washington, making a concerted effort to go into electric vehicles and whatnot. I think it's a real tailwind for Tesla, and I think it just remains the dominant de facto, probably growth leader in the market. We could talk all day long about valuation. It's been probably overvalued for 5 years, and it's done nothing but really go up and compound at a tremendous clip. Something probably newer that it may be off the radar screens of a lot is a stock like Roblox. And what's funny about Roblox, the way I got interested in it is I have 4 kids, and I noticed that they were playing this game on their phones and iPads constantly. And I finally asked them, "What are you playing?" And it was Roblox. And this is probably about a year ago. That's what first got me interested in it. And then when it came public, I did a little bit of research on it. And I think, again, you hear about the metaverse and the future that everyone's going to be, Facebook has clearly put that front and center and put it in front of people's minds that this is the future. I think Roblox is going to be a big player in that theme. Whether or not it plays out, again, I don't know, but I think that's going to be one of the major players in that metaverse theme. And I think it is going to be a massive growth area in the technology world. So those are probably three stocks that I do own, and I think I'll continue to own as long as they continue to hold up and act well.